Welcome to the Corn Crib for Game 2 of today's KCL doubleheader. It's the Merchants and the Bobcats here for us this evening after the Blue Caps won a home run derby in game number 1. Looking forward to an exciting game 2. Griffin Leonard along for the ride here. We apologize for the lack of a game 1. Colin Whitty had some broadcast issues with the equipment, so we apologize, but the past is in the past as there's a ground ball by Ashton Horsham. Horsham leads off the game. Cameron Clifton, the pitcher for the Bobcats on the other side. And quickly an 0-2 count to the first batter of this one here from the Corn Crib. There we got the live camera for you as Horsham shoots it into right center field. Converging in as Hackman. He calls off his right fielder and one is away. So a quick one out for the Bobcats, who come into this game trying to halt the Merchants' progress. The Merchants lead the KCL in the standings so far. They're off to a hot start. Trying to continue that is Clay Kahn. Lefty on righty matchup, and the first pitch is skied into left center. Ball drifts into shallow left, and converging is Brady Alexander, who makes the catch. Couple of quick flyouts for Clifton, and there are two away. We'd like to thank you for joining us on this beautiful Tuesday evening. A couple clouds have started to come out, so it's not quite as hot here in Normal, Illinois, but a nice day nonetheless. So the first pitch is just a bit high. Appeal goes down to first base. No swing, says our first base umpire. It's Cody Morton in the box for the Merchants. And the 1-0 just off the outside edge, 2-0. Cody Morton, Danville Community College native from Jasper, Indiana. And he steps back in the right-handed batter's box. Faces the 0-2 from Clifton and pops it foul. Or actually, that is fair. It'll go back left field. Does it have a chance? It's gone! A solo home run for the Merchants. And it's 1-0. Here at the Corn Crib, it's Cody Morton who hit that ball a long way. Off the bat, it looks like that was destined to drift foul. But it never hooked. And it's 1-0. So a quick 1-0 lead for the league-leading Merchants. And they try to keep it going. Daniel Bastildis, the next into the box. 2 down here in the top half of the first inning. Clifton delivers the slow curve off the outside edge. Ball 1. Grounded, foul, back to the screen. It'll be retrieved by the on-deck batter, Mason Nauman. Cameron Clifton from right here in Normal, Illinois, in his hometown ballpark, and he delivers the 1-1, which is popped right over my head here in the broadcast booth, clanking off of the concourse roof, and it's quickly 1-2. A crowd of about 100 here at the Corn Crib today on this Tuesday evening. A couple of fans coming out to enjoy some evening baseball. Nothing quite like it during the summer. A ball and 2 strikes. Cameron Clifton looked well on his way to a quick inning, gave up a solo shot, but has a chance to escape the 1-2. Here it is. Curveball just missed the outside edge. 2-2 the count's even to number 22. And Bastildis back in the box. Infield back, and here's the 2-2 delivery. Grounded, foul to the third base coach. And trickling down to the bullpen, a new ball into play. 2-2 upcoming once again. Bastildis digs in, and here's the pitch from Clifton. Another off speed. This one stayed high, and the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Clifton, the right-hander, back into the windup. A step back. Now he brings his leg up and comes forward. Fastball just off to the inside, and it's a walk that goes the distance. Bastildis works the full count walk. So man on first for Mason Nauman. Nauman from Pekin, Illinois, just about 45 minutes from here, as the first pitch fastball on the outside corner for a strike. Bastidas, who just walked, leads off of first base, and he's held on by Quinlan over there on the first base back. The 0-1 is high. The catcher Wagner snapped up like he wanted to throw down to first, but held the ball, and it's 1-1. The left-hander in the box, so the second baseman Smith slightly shifted over, and the right fielder Trey Thompson is close to the warning track. The 1-1 on the outside edge for a called strike, 1-2. A ball and 2 strikes. The Bobcats nearly there. Snap throw over to first. Backstanding is Bastidas. And the count remains 1-2 as Clifton will take back to the mound. Got to operate out of the stretch now is the right-hander, and he comes forward with the slide step, fouled away on the top of the screen and down. Another foul ball, and the count remains the same. Clifton, 2 quick outs, and now has run into some trouble. 1-0 the score, and 2 outs. Here's the 2-strike pitch. In there for a called strike. Going down looking is Nauman, and that wraps up the top half of the first. But a solo shot from the Merchants gives them the lead. We'll be back in just a moment here on the Kernels Collegiate League Network. Bottom half of the first inning, back with you here from the Corn Crib. If you're just joining us, the Merchants struck first via a solo shot with 2 down, and that brings us to where we stand. 1 hit, 1 run, and it's 1-0. The Merchants lead the Bobcats. Zach Diver steps onto the mound, and the right-hander comes home with a fastball. It's driven right up the middle, back at him by Alec McGinnis. McGinnis singles to start the bottom half of the first, and after the early run, that is the perfect response for the Bobcats. So leadoff single for the leadoff man, and now Jackson Smith will come up. And a quick throw over to first. Diving back safely is McGinnis. It's Mason Nauman who struck out to end the first inning, standing over next to him on first base, holding him on. Diver throwing over again, and back in once again is McGinnis. Diver with a Glove in his left hand, the ball in his right, brings them together now with the first pitch to the second batter, Jackson Smith, and the pitch misses outside. Once again, throwing over to first is Diver. Back safely is McGinnis. Zach Diver from the Peoria area, little town called Dunlap. The pitch outside from Diver. Dunlap, a town of just 1,300 on the northwest side of the Peoria area. Can't say I've ever been there. 2 balls and no strikes. A quick throw once again, and I feel like Diver's thrown over to first more than he has the plate so far in the early going here. And back on the mound goes Zach Diver. 2-0 from the right-hander. Fastball in there for a strike. Taking all the way was Jackson Smith. Diver walking around the mound, composing himself, and now back on the rubber. And throwing over once again is Diver. The town of Dunlap's been around since 1871. Originally a 40-acre bit of property owned by a guy with the last name Dunlap, and I guess that's where it got its name, as the 2-1 misses outside for 3-1. McGinnis leading off first. And once again, a platoon advantage as the right-hander faces the left-handed hitter. Jackson Smith digs in and faces the 3-1. Another fastball just there on the knees. Count goes full as the throwback from Foster to Diver almost winds up over his head, but not much would have happened with the runner on first base. 3 balls and 2 strikes. This at-bat goes the distance. Dan Moselle standing in the on-deck circle waiting for his opportunity as another throw goes over to first base. And I know the MLB has a limit now on pickoffs in one at-bat where you can only throw over twice, and if you throw over a third time, then the runner advances if he's not out. So the 3-2 is pitched. Ground ball left side, and because the runner was breaking from first, it sent the shortstop out of position. It goes through into the outfield, and going from first to third is Alec McGinnis. Back-to-back singles for the Bobcats. It would have been a double play ball. It would have taken the shortstop Clay Kahn just over to his position, able to just tap the bag and go to first, but because McGinnis was breaking on the pitch, able to not only get the head start, but able to shift that shortstop away. And now they have runners on the corners. So runners on the corners now, and a real opportunity for the Bobcats. Foul ball on the 1-0, out of play, evens the count. The wind's really picking up here. I'd have to close the door behind me to the press box if the wind keeps whipping through. Hopefully it isn't coming in too much on the broadcast microphone as another throw goes over to first base. And I bet as the sun begins to set here in Normal, Illinois, the wind will only increase. 1-0 is the score, but that might change pretty quick. Moselle into the batter's box. The runner breaks from first and will steal second without a throw. Jackson Smith in there to second base, and the runners go second and third with nobody out as the ball missed inside for a 2-1 count. Dan Moselle, another Normal, Indiana native, now batting with men on second and third. as the ground ball is hit to the right side through the gap. That'll score one, maybe two. Around second is Smith. He will score on a quick throw as they snap down to first. 2-1, the Bobcats take the lead via a two-run single by the Normal, Illinois native, Dan Moselle. A big hit as the offense comes alive here in the early going. So a man on first and Caleb Hackman in to hit. Another throw over to first from Diver. Ground ball right side on the 0-1 through once again. Going first to third is Moselle, who gets in there just ahead of the throw. And it will once again be runners on the corners. Singles galore for the Bobcats. And Mitch Murphy will try to keep this thing rolling. So still no one out for the Merchants, who have struggled so far. Zach Diver hasn't gotten hard contact. The ball's just been hit in tough areas for his fielders. And with runners on the corners now, Mitch Murphy takes a ball inside. The Merchants lead the KCL in the standings, but do not lead this game. After a couple of well-placed hits, give the Bobcats a 2-0 lead. 2-1 lead, excuse me. And there's an errant throw. That's going to score a run, and it ends up with Hackman in a rundown. He's tagged out. What in the world is happening in this first inning? It was a drop throw, and it allowed Dan Moselle to score, making it a 3-1 game. And now the bases are empty. So 2-0 still the count as Pandemonium has descended on the corn crib. It'll go down as an error to the catcher scoring the run. And now the 2-0 is popped up, but it'll land in front of the second baseman. So it'll be an infield single as it lands in front of Danny Mao at second base. Mitch Murphy, after all the chaos, still finds himself on first base. It's times like this where we could really use an analyst. Ryan Quinlan in the box, and another throw over to first from Diver. The Bobcats now lead by 2 over their foes in the light blue, the Merchants. The Bobcats in their green and orange uniforms. Quinlan sees a strike on the outside corner, and the count's 0-1. One down still in the bottom half of the first. As Diver stares down the left-handed hitting Quinlan. Quinlan batting in the 6-hole today, and the 0-1 is in the same spot. That one with a little bit of movement on it, perhaps a slider. Finds the outside part of the zone, and it's quickly 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Diver delivers the fastball, which skips once in the dirt and is gloved by the catcher Foster, 1-2. Mark Wagner awaits on deck as Zach Diver tries to get himself out of this inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch from the right-hander is swung on and missed. There's a strikeout as Quinlan goes down swinging. It'll hold Murphy at first base, and walking up to the plate now, Mark Wagner. An astounding 5 hits here in inning number 1, 6 if you combine the two teams, and a combined 4 runs now in the first inning as there's a first pitch strike to Wagner. Dawson Foster dropped that baseball, but still gets the benefit of the call from our home plate umpire. 3-1's your score. The Bobcats lead the Merchants as Diver once again turns to his left and throws on to first. Back in time is Mitch Murphy. Murphy, who singled on a little flare pop-up in front of the second baseman, stands at first, held on by Nauman. Coming home is Diver, and a line drive hit and run on for the Bobcats, and it worked to perfection. The throw goes down to third base from the right fielder Nate Reed, and once again, 2 men on for the Bobcats after a line drive single by Wagner. So the Bobcats continue to roll here in the bottom half of the first, all the way down to the 8-hitter in the lineup. It's Trey Thompson. Thompson, the left-handed hitter. He stands in with 2 on, looks at the first pitch, which misses just outside. Trey Thompson from here in Bloomington, Illinois. The outfielder also pitching a little bit, but not on the mound today for the Bobcats. And he looks at the 1-0, which is in the dirt, but called for a strike. And I could have sworn that pitch hit the ground before Dawson Foster got his glove to it, but it was called a strike by our home plate umpire, and the count is 1-1. Outfield playing slightly in, especially the center fielder Horsham. And the 1-1 misses just a tad outside. Trey Thompson playing his collegiate ball at Millikan University. Staring down Diver and facing a 2-1. The sun descending down here in Normal with the shadows creeping in on the infield as the 2-1 misses low. And it's that tough situation right now where the pitcher's sort of concealed, sort of out in the open from the sun, and the batter is in the shadows. In about 5 minutes, it'll be normal, but especially for the fielders, it's tough. 3 balls and a strike. Swung on and missed. Full count. After a big cut by Thompson, evens or makes the count full. Mitch Murphy at second, Mark Wagner on first. Diver comes set. Here's the playoff pitch. Fastball low, ball 4. The walk loads the bases. So the Merchants will have batted around when all is said and done, barring a pickoff. And a conference on the mound for Zach Diver and Dawson Foster. Two down, and the base is loaded. The Bobcats knocking on the door once again. Diver delivers the first pitch. It was off speed, and it found the zone. On the inside edge, strike 1. The bases are loaded for the Bobcats. The Merchants in normal depths just trying to get it out and escape the jam with minimal damage. 6 of the 8 hitters so far getting hits, and the pitch misses low. And perhaps that's actually 5 hits. Our scoreboard here is showing 6, but I'm doing the math in my head and it doesn't quite add up. Here's the 1-1. Fouled away. 1 and 2. Just 1 strike away, Diver, from getting out of this inning that stretched on close near to a half an hour. A ball and 2 strikes. Diver back on the rubber with the right foot. The runners taking their leads. Bases loaded here, and now stepping off the mound is Diver. Will reset. Murphy on third, Wagner on second, Thompson on first. Here's the pitch to Alexander. Inside, and it hit him. Plunked the 9-hole, and the run comes in to score. So a hit by pitch brings in the 4th run of the inning. And it is really falling apart here for the Merchants here in inning number 1. Four to 1 is your score. The Merchants still with the bases loaded, and it's Alec McGinnis who singled his first at-bat in this inning. First pitch, misses low, trickling back toward the backstop, but hustling to get it is Foster, and it'll limit the damage, 1-0. A ball on no strikes. Waiting on deck is Jackson Smith and then Dan Moselle. 1-0. Fastball. Fly it into shallow right. It'll drift toward the line. Chasing it and sliding is the right fielder, Nate Reed. And he made the catch. A beautiful sliding catch in foul territory for the right fielder. And that ends the first frame. 4-1 the score as the Bobcats strike early and often. So we head to inning number 2 here at the Corn Crib as the Bobcats strike 4 times in the opening frame after surrendering a first inning home run to the Merchants, but they lead by 3 here in the top half of the second. Back on the mound is the right-hander Clifton, and he delivers a first pitch strike to Mason Walker as we get this second inning underway. 0-1, and now Clifton delivers a pitch that is flared out right side, foul, drifting over and catching it is Quinlan, and there's one away. Off the end of the bat, and Quinlan, the first baseman, able to track it and bring it in for the first out. So 1 down as Dawson Foster, the next to bat. It'll be the 7 followed by the 8 hitter, Nate Reed, who made an incredible sliding catch to end the first frame. Clifton, fastball outside, ball 1. Cameron Clifton out for his second inning of work. And the normal native delivers a strike, foul tipped into the glove of Wagner, and it's quickly 1-1. Fly ball on the 1-1 into shallow right field. Converging is Thompson, but calling him off as the second baseman Jackson Smith, and there's 2 away. So a couple of quick batters retired just as they did in inning number 1. And now Nate Reed comes up trying to do the same thing his teammate did in inning number 1, where he hit a 2-out solo home run. Reed swinging at the first pitch, lifts it foul down the third base line and over into the kids area. Quickly 0-1 with 2 down to the 8-hole hitter Nate Reed. Clifton in the windup, delivering from the belt. 0-1 misses a little high and perhaps outside as well. The count's even at 1. And the lights have come on here at the corn crib as the sun continues to set as the 1-1 misses outside. 2 balls and a strike to the 8-hole hitter Nate Reed. If he reaches, Danny Mao will follow him up. The 2-1's grounded to the first baseman. Fielded cleanly by Quinlan. He taps the bag, taking it himself. And that retires the side. 1, 2, 3, go the Merchants as the Bobcats hold the lead 4-1. Bottom half of inning number 2 here from Normal, Illinois at the beautiful corn crib. It's another KCL doubleheader. First game of the day, the Blue Caps defeating the Ground Sloths in a home run derby. 2 home runs by Anderson to win it for the Blue Caps. And it's Zach Diver back on the mound after a first inning of struggles, gave up 4 runs on 6 hits. And the Bobcats lead by 3. It's the 2-3-4 hitters. Jackson Smith to begin for the Bobcats, and he faces the 1-0 fastball on the inside corner in there for a strike to even the count at 1 apiece. A quick 1-1. The infielders a couple steps in, exempting the second baseman, Danny Mao, on the edge of the outfield grass. A ball and a strike. Here's the pitch to the lefty. Slashes a ball at the first baseman off the glove and into right field. Swallowed up by Nate Reed, who holds him to a single, but that ball ate Nauman up. We'll see if it's called an error or a hit. They're going to call it an E3. And on to first base with the leadoff error is Jackson Smith. Diver throws over immediately, and the base umpire tells him, hey, let's get this thing going. It's the 3-hole hitter, Dan Mazzell, with Smith on first base. Takes a couple of steps and now breaks. Runner on the move. Pitch in there for a strike. Throw down from Foster is not in time. It's a stolen base for Jackson Smith, and the car horn goes off here at the corn crib as that one is sponsored by Jimmy John's. But a first pitch strike in there for the Merchants and a runner into scoring position now for the Bobcats. Moselle back in the batter's box. No balls and a strike. Here's the pitch from Diver. A fastball in there for a called strike quickly 0-2. Moselle in a hole, but has a man on second and first base vacant. No one down here in the bottom of the second. Diver collects from the stretch, the slide step on the 0-2, which is fouled into the catcher. And Foster might need just a moment. The home plate umpire walking a fresh base ball out to the pitcher Diver, and Foster on his feet and back into his crouch as he appears to be okay. Those foul tips can be scary. No time to react if you're Dawson Foster, and you only have so much padding. Caleb Hackman on deck, but it's Moselle in the box to face another 0-2. A changeup fouled away, chopped toward the Merchants bullpen and grabbed by one of the bench players for the Merchants. 0-2 once again. The outfield in on the 3-hole hitter, which is surprising, and a huge gap in left center field as Mason Walker kind of hugging the line a little bit. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. A fastball popped up in the infield. It'll go foul, tracking it as Foster, and he makes the catch. And now tagging is Jackson Smith because no one was covering the third base bag. A defensive lapse as Clay Kahn converged on a ball that was 100 feet away from him. And the foul out advances the runner. How often do you see that? So, almost a sacrifice, so to speak, moves the runner over to third, and Hackman bats with Smith on third base. First pitch fastball, grounded up the middle. It'll be just under the glove of Danny Mao, an RBI single. It makes it 5-1. That is remarkable. So an RBI single makes it 5-1 here in the second. Mitch Murphy back into the box. Popped the ball short of second base, and it actually landed in front of the 2 infielders. So he's 1 for 1 with a single. Watches the first pitch fastball sneak in on the outside corner. 0-1. Double play depth for the infielders as Diver throws once again to first. The ball bounces away from Mason Nauman, but not going anywhere is Hackman, who tosses his shin guard to his first base coach and leads off first once again. No balls and a strike. Diver back into the stretch. Medium leg kick, and he goes home. The runner was breaking. Ground ball shortstop. They'll look to turn 2 anyway, and they got him. 6-4-3, and it was one of those perfect ground balls that even with the runner stealing, they still got it done. A 6-4-3 double play ends the second. We go to inning number 3 right after this. The 9-1-2 hitters for the Merchants, down 4. Who would have seen this coming? The Merchants trail 5-1 here as we enter the third frame. Danny Mao, and then the top of the order in Horsham and Kahn. Mao steps in and faces the first pitch from Clifton. He pops it deep in the infield. The shortstop coming over, and McGinnis makes the play. There's one down. So one down after the pop out begins the inning, and Ashton Horsham, who flew out to center his first time, steps back in. Lefty on righty matchup, and Clifton delivers. It was a changeup that just missed the zone a tad high, 1-0. The second baseman, Smith, shifted slightly over. Line drive, right center field, that's down for a base hit. Horsham will round first, but hold at first, and he's on with a 1-out single. So Horsham stands on first base, and Clay Kahn will be the next to step in. Merchants down by 4 runs, but they've got a man on with 1 down. A snap throw from Clifton at the mound over to first, and back safely is Horsham. A man stretching down in the Bobcats bullpen, but you'd imagine he's not going to be needed for a while as Klon shoots one down the left field line, but it hooks foul. Hooks out of play. That one had extra bases written all over it, but just a tad foul. So a long first strike, and Kahn will make the long walk back from first base to home. Pick up his bat again and step in the box. He flew out to left. He's a left-handed hitter, but he's hit a number of balls to the opposite field as there's another throw over from Clifton. Back safely is Horsham. Back into the box is Clay Kahn with an open stance, and he fouls away the 1-0 into the suites, bouncing off the screen of the presidential suite over on the third base side. And it's 0-2. Clifton delivers the slide step, ground ball back up the middle, fielded by Clifton, goes to first and passes up on the double play. The Bobcats manager throws his hands up to say, "What are you doing, kid?" So a quick 1-3 makes their 2 down, but a runner on second now. That was a clear opportunity for a simple double play. Instead, it'll bring Cody Morton to the plate. Morton homered his first time up, and he steps into the box with 2 down and a man on second. 0-1 after a swinging strike. The 0-1 swung on and missed. On the outside corner, almost falling over to go get it is Morton, and it's 0-2. Clifton a strike away from getting out of the third. Some action in the bullpen. 0-2, misses just a tad outside. It's Jack Wisdom, Illinois Wesleyan commit, warming up in the bullpen for the Corn Belters. You know, I go to my college in Indiana, and anytime I see something U, I think it's Indiana instead of Illinois. So I apologize. But Illinois Wesleyan, the school of the topic, as there's another 1-2 foul away toward the Bobcats dugout. And we'll do it again. Clifton back on the rubber. He's got Horsham at second, and the 1-2 misses high. Evens the count at 2. Cody Morton homered to left. Maybe doesn't need a home run, but would love an RBI here to give the Merchants some kind of jolt. Here's the 2-2. Runner breaks for third, and striking out is Morton. The slider gets him from Clifton, and we head to the bottom half of the third. The Merchants struggling to find an answer for this Bobcats defense. Back here for the bottom half of the third inning. But before we get there, given that we are here on the beautiful baseball diamond, we have to give a shout out. A baseball legend has just passed away. Willie Mays, the Say Hey Kid, San Francisco Giants legend, has passed away at the age of 93. Born in 1931. He batted .301 in his MLB career over a 22-year career. First pitch in there for a strike. And that's actually a 24-year career, excuse me. Pitch in there, 0-2. Ryan Quinlan in the box. Zach Diver out there for another inning of work. A ground ball right side on the 0-2. Tapping the first base bag is Nauman. And there is one away. Willie Mays, famous for a lot of things, including a catch in the outfield over his shoulder. A truly incredible player, inducted to the National Baseball Hall of Fame in 1979. And while I never got to see Willie Mays, I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area where his name was synonymous with San Francisco Giants baseball. 1-0 from Diver. In there for a strike. A 1-1 coming up from Diver. In there for strike two, a swinging strike on the slider. Willie Mays, known as one of the greatest baseball players of all time. Most lists have him right there with the greats of Babe Ruth and Jackie Robinson as that ball is fouled away. Willie Mays, the Say Hey Kid. A ball and two strikes. Back here at the corn crib, Zach Diver misses high with the fastball. Mark Wagner singled to right field his first time. And trying to get the Bobcats going here in inning number 3. Trey Thompson awaits on deck. Diver into the windup, the leg kick, and he comes forward with the 2-2. In there for a strike. Strikes out Wagner looking, and there are two away. So two away quickly. The Merchants trying to put their first defensive 0 up on the board. Trey Thompson up with 2 down, trying to extend the inning. First pitch ball outside. Brady Alexander awaits in the on-deck circle for the Bobcats. A ball and no strikes. Pitch misses outside. 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. Again, with the windup is Diver. The fastball just off the outer edge. 3-0. Hitter's count, and beyond a hitter's count now for the 8-hole hitter Trey Thompson. Walked his first at bat and is well on his way to doing that once again. .30. Misses. High and outside. 2-out walk. Thompson takes a free pass for the second time in 2 plate appearances. And Brady Alexander, the 9-hole hitter, who was hit by a pitch his first time up, will now bat. 2 outs, man on first. Brady Alexander up to the plate with the Bobcats up by 4. Snap throw to first, back safely. Diver. Back into the stretch. The ball in glove, and now coming home, foul away right side. It'll go out onto the concourse by the alcoholic beverage vendor down the first base side, and now another throw over to first. As Zach Diver continues to give his base runners their fair share of exercise. And now back onto the mound, 0-1. Alexander, the right-hander, digging in and faces the 0-1, which is a slider in there for a strike right down the middle. Quickly 0-2. The top of the order awaits Alec McGinnis and Jackson Smith, the next 2 to hit, if the inning continues. Otherwise, they'll bat in the 4th. 0-2, another throw from Diver. He didn't even come set that time. And I would bet if this was a bigger crowd invested in one team, the boos would start raining down around now. Here's the 0-2. Line drive, shallow left, or shallow center, and it'll die out. Going first to third is Trey Thompson, and it's a 2-out single. So 2 down. Top of the order for the Bobcats, Alec McGinnis will hit, and a throw over to first as Brady Alexander, who just reached via the single, has to dive back in. Two down. The Merchants trying to keep this one with the score line that it currently stands. A first pitch strike to the leadoff man, McGinnis. McGinnis 1 for 2. Last time up, flew out. A beautiful play down the right field line by Nate Reed to end that frame. Here's the 0-1. Slider popped up, foul, and it will drift out of play. Up on top of the Sweets, quickly 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. Slider sat on and lifted into left, but right at the left fielder, Mason Walker, and that ends the inning. A hard line drive, but it results in no runs, and the Merchants escape. We head to inning number 4. Into the fourth we go. The Bobcats clinging to a 5-1 lead, and the Merchants trying to claw back into it a little bit. It's Bastidas who walked his first time. He watches a first pitch ball miss high. And here's the next pitch from the newbie into the game. It misses low. It's Jack Wisdom. As mentioned earlier, an Illinois Wesleyan commit. And the Bloomington native fires a 2-0 fastball low into the dirt, 3-0, quickly for Bastidas. Wisdom working quickly. Here's the 3-0, and that one just in there at the letters. 3-1. Wisdom trying to come all the way back. He relieves Cameron Clifton, whose only blemish was a solo home run as the 3-1's popped a mile high. Drifting over to make the play is Quinlan. He called off his second baseman and makes the catch. And there is one away here in the top half of the fourth. Mason Nauman will bat next. First pitch misses outside. Nauman struck out looking. And here's the 1-0. Fouled away, back to the screen. Count even at 1 with 1 away. Mason Walker the next to hit for the Merchants. And the 1-0, a curveball, drops in there, and it is hit, a bouncing ball to the second baseman. Smith picks up, fires to first, and has the second out of the inning. So there's 2 down. And the Merchants in danger of going away quickly once again. On the other side, Jack Wisdom working very quickly, and that's something that he will feel very positive about. Mason Walker flew out in foul territory his last time up, and now takes the first pitch ball high. A 1-0 count, and here's the pitch from Wisdom. It's popped up. It'll stay in the infield. Just into foul play. Coming over and dropping the ball is Mark Wagner. And the inning will continue. Oh, the catcher's going to want that one back. He had to go about 45 feet down the line for it. He called off Ryan Quinlan, the first baseman, who was also converging. And then the ball just popped out of that left-handed catcher's glove. So 1-1 the count. And back in the box with a fresh life is Mason Walker. Here's the 1-1. Another slider. That one's in there for a strike. Nice movement on that pitch that breaks away from the hitter. And it's 1-2. Back on the mound quickly is Wisdom. He delivers the same pitch and it's fouled away. Over to the on-deck batter, the catcher Dawson Foster. Just past the hour mark in this game and coming up on the halfway point of this game. Here's the 1-2, high. Fastball way up there. Count even at 2-2. Wisdom entered this game. He retired the first 2 batters, and his 2-2 flutters way high. Didn't get the fingers around the seams to get the spin on it that he wanted for that curve. It's 3-2. Here's the payoff pitch. Full count. Fastball back to the screen on the line drive foul. And it'll have to be a Bobcat to come and claim it, as Dawson Foster didn't really feel like jogging over there in the catcher's gear. Instead, it's the Bobcats catcher. Here's the 3-2 once again from Wisdom. Appeal down to first. He did not go. And I think the Bobcats defense disagreed. But on the appeal, he did not go around on the 3-2 in the dirt, and it is a 2-out walk. So Dawson Foster, up with a man on first and 2 down. The knee pads no longer on. And up to the plate now in the right-handed batter's box. First pitch from Wisdom upcoming. The leg kick and the fastball grounded. It's a chopper to the shortstop. Fielded on the up hop, thrown across to first, gloved by Quinlan, and that's the inning. A 6-3 ground out ends the top half of the third. Another 0 on the board for the league leading Merchants. We get to a break. Bottom half of the fourth frame is a beautiful sunset is beginning to form. The clouds across center field sprinkled with purple and pink. You can't see it very well on the broadcast, so I apologize for that, but you're going to have to take my word for it. So the color comes across the sky, and the shade has completely engulfed the corn crib. It's the first pitch of the inning. A foul ball to the screen. The Merchants finally relieve Zach Diver of his duties today. It'll be Tyson Sorensen from Leroy, Illinois. He's the next pitcher to face the 2-3-4 hitters of the Bobcats. Sorensen fires, and the 0-1 is fouled off in a similar spot, but it clears the screen this time, 0-2. Quickly, a hole dug into by Jackson Smith, but he has fouled off both pitches, just not into anything he can do with them. Back into the windup is Sorensen. His windup is sort of just from the stretch as he delivers the 0-2 outside. He brings the ball up near his back shoulder, disguising his glove and the ball from the hitter, and it's a very jerky motion coming forward. It's behind his right ear, and now it comes forward with the 1-2. Some decent spin on that fastball, but it misses up and in, or up and away, 2-2 as the count is even. Smith, the leadoff hitter in this inning, is followed up by Moselle and Caleb Hackman in that order. 2-2. Coming forward to Sorensen with the fastball, and that one's fouled away. That one was a little more central in the strike zone, perhaps too central for what Sorensen's trying to get out of it. But it's harmless as it's fouled away. Now another 2-2. The right-hander kicks and fires, and that is the curveball, a big looper that ended up about at his eyes, and the count is full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Sorensen trying to retire the first batter of the half inning before he faces the 3 and 4 hitters. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch from Sorensen. Fastball fouled away once again. You can tell that Jackson Smith is behind on that fastball, but to this point, Sorensen hasn't found any control with his off speed, so he kind of just has to keep peppering that fastball in there. So you wonder if and when Smith will be able to time it up. He's 1 for 2 today, but he's reached on both times, but he strikes out this time. It was a fastball in the high part of the zone, and it swung on and missed. A swinging strikeout begins the bottom half of the 4th, and there is 1 down. Dan Mazzell singled his first time, popped out to the catcher his last time. He bats with 1 away, and the base is empty. First pitch, curveball on the outside edge for a strike. Dan Mazzell goes to Augustana University, or Augustana College. Very important distinction. Augustana College right here in Illinois versus Augustana University in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. The 0-1's another curveball, which drops in there for a strike. Augustana College, private Lutheran college in Rock Island, enrolling about 2,500 students, including Mazzell, who fouls the 0-2, rolling away toward the Merchants dugout. A Division III college, Augustana. And Massell plays his college ball there, but hails from right here in Normal, Illinois. 0-2, Sorensen. Low leg kick, and he fires a ground ball, which ends up in fair territory, but our home plate umpire says it was off the ankle of Mazzell, which, based on the slight limp, I wouldn't doubt it. Oh and 2 the count. And a 5-1 lead for the Bobcats. Swung on, missed, and a foul ball, says our home plate umpire, but you couldn't hear it up here, that's for sure. No balls in, 2 strikes, still the count. Sorensen facing the right-hander, and the right-handed throwing pitcher brings himself back into the set position and comes forward with the curveball, which just misses the outside edge. Finally, a ball to Moselle, and it's 1-2. The infield slightly in for the 3-hole hitter as they have been today. Probably about 40 feet of space behind the corner outfielders and up near 100 behind the center fielder. 1-2, skips, 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The count is even. A very long half inning for just 2 batters to make their appearance to this point. But these fans don't seem to mind. The 2-2, a curveball on the outside edge on that lower corner. And he goes down looking. 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th. Dawson Foster trying to end this streak. Hackman. Caleb Hackman, the batter. Dawson Foster, of course, the catcher for the Blue Caps. Hackman, 2 for 2 with a couple of singles. 1 to center, 1 to right. He watches the first pitch curveball miss outside. Sorensen has found the control with that curveball, so he can mix it in with the heater and try to throw these hitters off with their timing. The 1-0 is a fastball, cut and fouled off, but you can tell how far behind Hackman is based on where that ball ends up, because a lot of times you see the ball go back to the screen and it's because he was off the top or the bottom part of the bat, but that time he was just so far behind it that he hit it behind him. The 1-1 is fouled away, flared off to the right-hand side and into the seats, 1-2. So if you're just joining us, an offensive explosion in the first inning, a solo shot for the Merchants, and then a four-piece from the Bobcats. They tacked on another in the second, and things have been scoreless since then. 5-1, the Bobcats lead here in Normal. Another beautiful night here in Central Illinois for some KCL baseball. A ball and 2 strikes. Hackman waiting for the pitch, and he watches the fastball dip down. It goes between the catcher's legs and rolls back to the backstop, 2-2. Count even for the cleanup hitter. Hackman 2 for 2 with a couple of singles. He now faces the 2-2, trying to keep 2 outs on the scoreboard. The line drive on the 2-2 is flared to right field, caught by Reed, and that retires the side in order. So an easy out and an easy inning for the Merchants. They've got to find their offense. Just 2 hits and a run to show for it. We go to the 5th. Nate Reed leads off inning number 5 for the Merchants, who trail 5-1. Reed watches the first pitch go in there for a strike. It's the second inning of work for Jack Wisdom, the Bloomington, Illinois kid, and he delivers the 0-1, which is fouled away to the left side over the Merchants' dugout and into the empty seats down the third base line. Probably 100 or 150 or so fans sprinkled throughout the ballpark on this KCL night. In the first game of the doubleheader, as the 0-2 is in there for a strike, striking out Nate Reed looking. The first game of the doubleheader was an entertaining one, down to the wire, and ended up a little too down to the wire as it ended up tied. We went to a home run derby where the ground sloths fell to the Blue Caps by a score of 2-1. A little more lopsided in game 2. 1 out quickly as Danny Mao, the next to face the Bloomington native Wisdom. First pitch outside. Wisdom falling behind in the count. And here's the 1-0 from the right-hander. It's flied foul, right side, hooking and out of play. Evens the count at 1. First baseman Quinlan took a few steps and gave up on it rather quickly. A ball and a strike. 1-1. Curveball down low, skipping just in front of the glove of the catcher Wagner, who picked it with ease. 2-1 is the count. And here's the 2-1 pitch. Line drive up the middle. Glove by the second baseman, Jackson Smith, who throws over to first in time. Gets Mao by a step or two, and there's 2 away. Two down. The Merchants continue to struggle offensively. Ashton Horsham, the leadoff man in today's game. The top of the order comes back around. He's 1 for 2. Flew out in the first and singled his last time up. He takes a first pitch strike down the heart of the plate. And here's the 0-1. High pitch, 1-1 is the count. And now the 1-1 is spiked. A 58-footer. Two balls and a strike. A fresh ball for the pitcher, Wisdom. And he faces Horsham, who is 1 for 2. Here's the 2-1. Fastball way high all the way to the backstop, tipping off the glove of Wagner. A strugglesome outing right now for Wisdom. 3-1. Here's that pitch, and it's a fastball just missing the knees. Wisdom looks like he wanted that call, but instead it's a 2-out walk. So Clay Kahn will bat as this inning extends. Some work in the Bobcats bullpen, and this is likely Wisdom's final inning of work as he turns and throws a pickoff down to first base. Quinlan catches it, and now another one goes to Quinlan, but Horsham back in there safely. Quick couple of pickoffs, and now breaking, having a great jump is Horsham. Pitches in there for a ball, and Horsham didn't even produce a throw. He was off before the pitcher even threw that baseball, but a picture-perfect jump for Horsham, who steals second. And now the pitch is ripped to right center. That's when good things happen. That ball's in the gap. Turning first and going to second is Clay Kahn. He's in there ahead of the throw, which bounces to the third base bag. Scoring easily is Clay Kahn. That is huge, and that is exactly why you steal that base. You have to put runners in scoring position, and yes, maybe he would have scored from first, but you can't take that chance. Clay Kahn dives into second base with an RBI double, and it's 5-2. A ball game once again is now Cody Morton comes up, who hit a home run earlier in this contest. First pitch to Morton, just missing the top part of the zone, 1-0. A ball and no strikes. Delivery upcoming, and here it is. Fastball outside corner. Yes, it is in there. 1-1. A ball and a strike. Wisdom checks on the runner, who now breaks for third. A foul ball back to the screen will send him back to second. Clay Kahn got an exceptional lead heading to third. Now, you know what they say, that you don't want to make the final out at third. But the Merchants opting for a rather aggressive style right now. 1-2 the count. And it's Morton back into the box. Horsham got an exceptional leadoff and steal at second. And now Kahn trying to follow in his footsteps. 1-2, curveball high. Two just misses outside. It was a curveball, which just missed, perhaps a little outside, maybe a tad low. Full count pitch upcoming to Morton. Kahn shuffles off of second, Wisdom checks on him, now comes home. The runner's on the move. Stolen base and a walk to go along with it as the fastball missed low. Clay Kahn stealing third, no throw down to third. And runners on the corners and the tying run coming up to the plate. We'll have a mound visit, and with action in the bullpen, we'll see if that is it for Wisdom. It appears to just be a conversation for the moment. The moon is out and about here in Normal, Illinois. Just a few days ago on my commute back from work, it was a sliver, and now over halfway to becoming a nice little full moon, illuminating the sky here in Normal. Still not necessarily sunlight as the sun has set, but some light nonetheless. It's not completely dark, but sunset just about 12 minutes ago here in Normal, Illinois. 2 down, runners on the corners. Bastidas up in a huge spot for the Merchants. Breaking is Morton, and a drive to deep left center field. Going back on it is Hackman, and he is there. Makes the catch to escape the jam, Caleb Hackman. And that is a frustrating one for the Merchants. That ends the top half of the fifth inning stretch here in the ballpark. We'll go to break. The fifth inning stretch is complete, and we get ready for the bottom half of the fifth inning. Mitch Murphy, Ryan Quinlan, and Mark Wagner will bat for the Bobcats, who after a run from the Merchants still lead by 3. Back on the mound, Sorensen for his second inning of work, and he delivers a first pitch fastball, which is high. Here's the 1-0 upcoming. Sorensen facing Mitch Murphy. Murphy 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out. Here's the 1-0. Fastball low, 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. The bases are empty, and the infield is on the cusp of the outfield. For the hard-hitting Mitch Murphy, who watches the 2-0 filter outside, 3-0. 3 balls and no strikes. Outfield playing slightly in with a solid 75 to 100 feet behind the center fielder. The 3-0 taking all the way is Mitch Murphy, and he watches a strike. On the inner edge, 3-1. Waiting on deck is Ryan Quinlan, and he will face Sorensen after the conclusion of this AB, which the 3-1 goes back to the screen. It is a walk, a leadoff walk. It'll bring up Quinlan. And as the soundtrack of SpongeBob rings through here in the corn crib, the Bobcats will send their next hitter to the plate. Ryan Quinlan is 0 for 2 with the swinging strikeout and a ground out to first base. And the runner on first base is Mitch Murphy. Infield slightly shifted over to the right to accommodate the left-handed hitting Quinlan. The first pitch, a fastball back to the backstop. Taking second will be Mitch Murphy. First wild pitch of this game that resulted in a runner advancing. Quickly 1-0. Sorensen has struggled to find the control on that fastball of his here in the bottom half of the fifth. Runner in scoring position now for Quinlan, who is hitless. 1-0. In there for a strike on the outer half of the zone. Perhaps right on the corner. 1-1. A ball and a strike, and Sorensen getting ready to deliver. Slide step. He goes home. 2-1 as the pitch misses low. He's not getting the extension on that slide step, but his body is still kind of falling down the mound where he isn't able to locate that fastball up at the knees like he's trying to. It keeps missing down low, skipping in the dirt on its way to the catcher. 2-1. A curveball. That one is a beauty on the outside corner. 2-2, evening the count with the off speed. That is how you work your way back in. 2-2, man on second and Murphy, and Quinlan stepping back in. Right on left matchup. Sorensen dips at the knees and now comes forward. Misses outside and going back to the backstop again. It's off the glove of the catcher Foster, and moving up to third is Mitch Murphy. That one was not close, but it also should have been caught. It should have been caught by the catcher Foster, and instead, from first to third, Mitch Murphy goes via a couple of wild pitches. 3-2 is the count. Quinlan digging back in to face what will be the first payoff pitch of this at-bat, with it being a 3-2. The pitch from Sorensen. A curveball drills him. Drills the batter. And that sends Quinlan to first. There's action in the Merchants bullpen, and now the coach walking out to have a conversation. Current situation, down 3. You have runners on the corners, and you have no one out. What do you do here? You got to stick with your gut, and if that means leaving Sorensen in and letting him work, then so be it. He did that well last inning, but can he get out of another jam? Long meeting on the mound, finally broken up by our home plate umpire. Still no outs. It's KCL Baseball on the Kernels Collegiate League YouTube channel. If you're joining us, we thank you for spending some of your evening. As we get ready for what should be an entertaining end. But if the Bobcats can tack a few on, It might put it out of reach, make it slightly a little less interesting. Sorensen will remain on the hill. He throws a first pitch fastball, which is sliced to the shortstop. Fielding on the backhand, but he will have no play. Cody Morton got there, but couldn't get it in his throwing hand quickly enough. A run scores, and everyone's safe. So second and first now with no one out, and the score 6-2. Trey Thompson will bat. Thompson to face Sorensen. He squares the bunt, the curveball in the dirt. He pulled that bunt back very late, but they will give him the benefit of the doubt and call it ball one. It is not an easy ask to bunt a curveball. And here's the 1-0. Sorensen delivers. Fastball swung on and missed. A ball and a strike. The left-handed hitting Trey Thompson has walked both of his plate appearances today. And now he faces the 1-1. A fastball low, gloved by the catcher Foster, and there are 2 balls now to the 8-hole Trey Thompson. 2 balls and a strike. The pitch, fastball swung on and missed. Behind that fastball is Trey Thompson, who's been gifted first base both times up. Hasn't had to do much. And it is 2-2. Sorensen checks on the runner at second. Quinlan stares right back at him. And now coming home with Sorensen, he misses with the fastball. That looked beautiful. Right off that inside corner. Nearly in there. And instead, the count is full. (3-2) misses high. A third walk of the day drawn by Trey Thompson. Bases loaded, no one out. And another meeting on the mound. That will send us to a break as a pitching change is upcoming. Here from the Corn Crib, it's KCL Baseball. Bottom half of inning number 5 here, KCL Baseball. Caleb Diver is into the game for the Merchants, brother of starting pitcher Zach Diver, both from Dunlap, Illinois, as mentioned earlier. And the second diver of the game to pitch has his work cut out for him. Bases loaded, no one out. And Brady Alexander to hit. 1 for 1, a single and a hit by pitch. First pitch to Alexander, a swinging strike. High fastball, top of the zone, and swinging through it was Alexander. He's got Ryan Quinlan on third, Wagner on second, and Thompson on first. And no one out. Bobcats up 4. The 0-1 is just outside. A ball and a strike. Diver digging back in and now delivers the fastball low, 2-1. Brady Alexander content to let Diver work up and gain a little control before really starting to attack these fastballs. Not trying to give the new pitcher anything. He's already under pressure. Here's the 2-1. A check swing, yes, he did go around, 2-2. The count is even, 2-2. Here's the pitch. Just high. Count goes full. The Bobcats need 6 runs to end this game right now, or 6 outs to win it on the defensive side. No more offenses required if they go the conventional route. But Brady Alexander wouldn't mind a couple of ribbies. 3-2, outside, ball 4. Walks in another run. Not only that, but it brings up the top of the order. So Alec McGinnis comes up. He singled his first time to center field and has since flew out twice. He bats with the bases loaded and no one out in a 7-2 ball game. First pitch to him, it's a curveball diving into the dirt, ball 1. One and 0 is the count. And here comes the pitch to McGinnis. Fastball inside, off the glove. Coming home is Wagner, and he will score standing up. The other runners all move up. And the wheels really falling off the bus for the Merchants. 8-2 is the score. And still no one out. McGinnis digs back in, 2-0. Diver delivering just on the outside edge. It's a strike, 2-1. But even that call on the very edge. And here's the 2-1 from Diver. 2-2, a slider in there for a strike. A dip at the knees of frustration from McGinnis. So the count's 2-2. The runners are on second and third. First base now open. 8-2 ball game. The 2-2 is popped foul. It'll drift toward the dugout and go out of play off one of the seats and bounding into the seats short of the first base dugout on the right field side. McGinnis popped out down the first base line. His second at bat, trying to square one up in fair territory this time. The 2-2 fouled behind me. Back-to-back foul balls. The count stays alive. And Caleb Diver having to work hard for his first out. It's Jackson Smith and Dan Moselle who will follow up the leadoff man in the Bobcats lineup, Alec McGinnis. McGinnis faces another 2-strike pitch and fouls it back to the screen. He is working hard. Two balls, two strikes. Diver comes set. Brings the ball down to his knees and goes forward. The ball is grounded foul, chopped toward the Merchants' dugout, and another 2-2 is incoming. This is really turning into a long AB. Silence descending upon the corn crib and in anticipation. Here's the 2-2 in there for a strike. Slider froze him. And there's a big first out as Diver strikes out McInnes looking. And even more important, those runners stay put. They get an out and nothing else happens. Which, while that sounds boring, that is incredibly important for the Merchants. Jackson Smith up with one down. Struck out swinging last time, but has reached base via a single and an error on the first baseman, Nauman, on a hard shot up the line. A strike was taken to begin the at-bat, and it's 0-1. Jackson Smith digs back in, faces the 0-1 from Diver, and slashes it foul down the left field line, over the suites and onto the concourse, 0-2. No balls and two strikes. Corn Belters, or excuse me, the Bobcats trying to expand on that lead. The ball dives down low. The Bobcats in the green jerseys, similar to the Corn Belters' green and yellows. The Bobcats wear green and orange, and the Merchants in their light blue. The 1-2 in the dirt, blocked by Dawson Foster, who dropped to his knees and had to slide over toward Jackson Smith to make the stop and hold the runners in their places, 2-2. Dan Moselle waits in the on-deck circle. The 2-2 is low. Count goes full. Caleb Diver has thrown a million pitches here in the fifth. Three balls, two strikes, runners on second and third. Here's the pitch from Diver. Ground ball, a chopper to the first baseman. It brings him into fair territory, tags out Jackson Smith, but not before a run scores. So a ground out plates a run. Scoring is Trey Thompson, and moving to third base is Brady Alexander. So 9-2. A 7-run lead now, 10 required for the Mercy, but still a little ways to go if they're going to get there. Dan Moselle, 2 down. He watches a first pitch curveball go down into the dirt for ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Alexander leads off third base. The 1-0 is popped over the screen right up near me here in the booth, and it hit the seats. I think that was coming right for us. A ball and a strike. A fan down here in the Mario-themed Corn Belters jersey just grabbed his second and held them up as the trophies that they are. We're going to go to the audio-only loop here as we have some camera issues. I'll fix those in the next commercial break as the 1-1 is slashed foul down the left field line. Bouncing into the soccer goals down the left field line. Heartland Community College plays their soccer here at the Corn Crib. And the count now 1-2. Still here in the bottom of the fifth, 2 down. 9-2, Bobcats lead. Here's the pitch. A line drive, foul once again. Always important to pick up multitasking, changing the battery in the camera, and calling a game. Gotta love a nice Tuesday night here at the Corn Crib. A ball and 2 strikes. Caleb Diver back on the mound. He delivers a fastball high. And that one misses the zone. 2-2 the count. Moselle trying to keep this inning alive. Oh, look at that beautiful camera. 2-2. Pitch. Fastball. Driven center field. But right at Horsham, who makes the play. It'll end the inning after an excruciating 4 runs come across. At least that's how I'm sure the Merchants feel. 9-2, we go to the 6th. Enter inning number 6 here from the Corn Crib as nightfall has officially descended upon us. It is a beautiful night here in Normal, Illinois, and Mason Nauman singles up to center field to begin the 6th inning. So leadoff single for Mason Nauman as the Merchants trail by 7 runs here. We'd like to thank you for joining us on this beautiful night here in Normal, Illinois for some KCL action. You can next catch the Corn Belters here at home on Friday as they take on the Burlington Bees. Corn Belters have a couple of days off before traveling to Burlington on Thursday before coming home to face them on Friday. You can catch that game on Prospect League TV. Ground ball up the middle, tagging the runner at first and now going to first, double play. Mason Walker grounds that into a double play. Jackson Smith with the heads up to not go to second, just tag the runner that was coming at him. And that will be a quick and easy double play. How about that? So 2 down. And quickly now, it's Dawson Foster to hit. And that pitch is grounded. It's going to be an infield single. It was a tough play for Dan Moselle, and it'll be a 2-out infield single for the Merchants, who trail by 7. So 2 down here in the top half of the 6th. The throw over from the pitcher. It was an infield single that got us to the point where we're at now with 2 down. And Dawson Foster stands on first. Nate Reed pops one up on the first pitch he sees. The catcher, Wagner, I don't know if he saw it, and it drops. He was looking around trying to find that baseball here in the night sky of the corn crib and never came up with it. Nate Reed gets new life. No balls and a strike. Nate Reed back into the left-handed batter's box. He's got the red shin guard on his right foot. And that right foot pointed at the pitcher as the 0-1 comes home, and he lifts it into left field. It's tailing toward the line. Sliding is the left fielder, Alexander, and he makes the catch to end the inning. So a nice defensive play ends the top half of the 6th, and we head to the bottom. 9-2, the Bobcats clinging to a comfortable lead. Bottom half of inning number 6. The Bobcats back to the plate. They'll bring the 4-5-6 hitters, Caleb Hackman, Mitch Murphy, and Ryan Quinlan, to the dish here in the bottom of the 6th. 9-2 is the score, as the league-leading Merchants have been humbled today. The first pitch is driven to left field. That one is sending Walker back, but it'll stay in the park. It's caught by Walker for the first out of the inning. He had a decent bit of tag on that one, but the left fielder hauls it in for the first out of the inning. It'll bring up Mitch Murphy. He walked his last time out after singling and grounding out. So 1 down quickly. And the Merchants would love a quick 1-2-3 here to try to mount any chance of coming back in this one. Caleb Diver delivers a first pitch fastball, which is lined right back up the middle. It's the second hit of the day for Mitch Murphy, and it's a 1-out single for the Bobcats. So a man on first and 1 down for Ryan Quinlan. The left-hander 0 for 2 with the swinging strikeout and a ground out before being hit by a pitch his last time up. First pitch to him, swung on and missed. It was in the dirt, a sinking fastball that fell away from the hitter, and it's 0-1. fan in the stands getting a nice little video. Perhaps the father of either the pitcher or the hitter. But Diver delivers the 0-1, and it's fouled away. No balls and 2 strikes. He's got that dad pose. Mark Wagner on the on-deck circle. He will follow up Quinlan, who now faces a quick 0-2 with Murphy on first base. The infield slightly shifted over to the right, and here's the 0-2. It's high. No bullpen activity from either side. The Bobcats going to roll with the same man on the mound, and the Merchants seem to be complacent with letting Diver work as the 1-2 is fouled away back to the Sweets down the third base line. We'll have another 1-2 in just a moment. The wind still blowing right to left toward that left field foul pole. And here's the 1-2, just a bit outside. It evens the count at 2 apiece as Caleb Diver searches for that ever so important second out of the inning. Diver, the kick and the pitch. Curveball fouled away. Same spot as the last one. And a new ball will have to go into play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Caleb Diver, the brother of starting pitcher today, Zach Diver, both from Dunlap, Illinois. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner on first. Quick throw, snap throw over to first. Back standing up is Murphy. Now, if I had $1 for every pick-off that we saw from the Merchants today, I'd probably be able to buy out the Snack Shack. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Fouled away back to the screen. Hustling to get it is the on-deck batter, Mark Wagner. And another 2-2 will come. A lot of extended at-bats, and that's how the Bobcats have been able to fare well in this game. They've made the pitchers work for every out, run up the pitch counts, force mistakes, and capitalized on them. Now Wagner leads off first as another 2-2 comes home, and it misses outside. Diver is trying to hook that cutter back into the zone. Just missed the pentagon of the plate. And it is 3-2. Full count. Payoff pitch incoming from Caleb Diver. From the belt, here he comes. Curveball fouled away. Now, if there's a kid hanging out there down the left field line, I think he's probably got a backpack full of baseballs by now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch number 3 incoming. The Dunlap native fires, and the pitch is lined, but foul once again. That one at least stayed in the ballpark, although it may have bounced out. A very long at-bat, up near 10 pitches, as Quinlan has really made Diver work. The Illinois Central Community College player delivers, and it's fouled away once again, this time to the presidential suite. Home plate umpire asking for a few more baseballs. I wonder why. Gonna have to open up a new box. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Mitch Murphy still leading off at first. Here's the full count pitch. A curveball fouled away. Out of play over the concourse and out perhaps into the parking lot. And here's a couple of fresh baseballs. Three balls and 2 strikes. Full count. The runner's on the move at another foul ball. This has got to be a KCL record at bat. We're up near 15 pitches, folks. This is extraordinary. Three and two. Caleb Diver stares in, looking for the signal from his catcher. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And it's finally low for a ball. A walk. And now going first to third, taking advantage of the wild pitch, is Mitch Murphy. Now that's some heads-up base running. He may have hurt himself. Hands on his knees down there at third base. And we will see if he is okay. It was finally ball 4 after all the foul balls. The pitch skidded back to the backstop, bouncing away from the catcher, Dawson Foster. Seeing that, Murphy turned around second and kept on strolling to third, but may have just tripped over his own feet, hitting that third base bag. The non-contact injuries are always the scariest, but he appears to be okay. He's going to remain in the game, and he'll stand on third. Runners on the corners, 1 down. And it's Mark Wagner hitting as what would be the winning run with the mercy rules in place. First pitch, a 58-footer that is gloved by the catcher, Foster, 1-0. The infield in sort of a hybrid between standard positioning and double play. So they would love to get out of this inning without a run as the 1-0 is in the dirt once again, 2-0. Another hitter's count. Still no bullpen action from the Merchants, but I think at this point it may be a white flag of sorts, and they're complacent to just let Diver work through this and see what happens. Runners on the corners, 2-0. Swung on and missed. It was tipped into the glove of Foster off the bat of Wagner, 2-1. Diver working his way back into the count. KCL will return on Thursday with a fresh doubleheader. We hope to see you back with us then. The 2-1 just off the outer edge. That one was oh so close. The KCL actually returns tomorrow, tomorrow and Thursday. A full week of the KCL as there's a walk. The 3-1 outside, and it loads the bases. So the winning run is on base. But make sure to join us tomorrow, same time, 5 p.m. Bobcats versus Ground Sloths before the Merchants take on the Blue Caps. Catch that right here on the the KCL Collegiate League page, or join us at the ballpark. Come say hi. Full week of games at the Corn Crib today, tomorrow, Thursday. Corn Belters on Friday. As the first pitch is swung on and missed. Back to the backstop it goes. That'll score a run. It was a swinging strike. And that scores another run. 10-2, winning run now on second base. Corn Belters on Friday. KCL, a 4 o'clock start on Saturday. And then some more KCL action at 3 o'clock before I believe the Corn Belters play that night as well. A triple header on Sunday. Fun times for all the interns. As facing the 0-1 count is Trey Thompson. He takes it low for a ball. A ball and a strike. The winning run just 180 feet away. 10 runs on 10 hits for the Bobcats. 1-1. Popped up, foul. It'll drift out of play onto the hill. Well, it will sit there and wait for that kid in red to hustle on over it. Where he claims the foul ball. 1-2. A new ball into play. And Caleb Diver getting set to come forward. 1-2. Got him. Slider on the outside edge. 2 outs. And a big strikeout for the pitcher, who has given up another run in this inning, trying to avoid giving up 2 more that would end this game. Brady Alexander could be the hero for the Bobcats. Takes strike 1 on the inside edge. It was a curveball that found the corner. Brady Alexander 1 for 1, but he's reached base all 3 plate appearances. He got hit by a pitch. He singled to right center and walked. And here's the 0-1. On the outside corner, a fastball taken for a strike. 0-2. Caleb Diver has finally found some confidence. A strike away from sending this one to the 7th inning. Quinlan leads off third. Wagner leads off of second. Here's the 0-2, taken high. Fastball 2 or 3 inches up of the strike zone, and it's 1-2. Bobcats 10, Merchants 2. The second game of today's evening doubleheader in the KCL, as that pitch is lined to left field. Coming in to claim it is Mason Walker, and that retires the side. 1 run, but not enough to end this game and inning early, so we head to the 7th. It's 10-2, and the Merchants will try for a Hail Mary of a comeback when we get back. We head to the 7th. The 14th of 14 innings here in today's KCL doubleheader. If you've stuck it out, we applaud you. 10-2 is the score. The Bobcats trying to finish off the Merchants. First pitch is hammered to center field. Going back on it is Hackman, and he makes the catch. 1 down. A first pitch fly out. Cycles around the bottom of the order to the top, and Ashton Horsham will hit with 1 away. One down, and Ashton Horsham, who is 1 for 2, walked last time. He will face Wisdom. First pitch, hammered down the right field line, but snagged by the first baseman on a dive. Horsham will beat it out, and he's got an infield single. What a play by Ryan Quinlan, even though it didn't translate to an out. Well done. So a man on first and 1 out. Clay Kahn will bat after his teammate singled. And the infield moves into double play depth, a double play that would end the game. First pitch outside for a ball. That is Braden Alexander on the mound, not Wisdom, I apologize. Braden Alexander from Bloomington, Illinois. Right-handed pitcher on the mound, throws a first pitch ball, and now comes home with the 1-0. The runner's on the move. Horsham steals the base. Without a throw, as it was mishandled by the catcher Wagner, so Horsham moves to second, and the count's 2-0. Another stolen base for Horsham as the 2-0 finds the zone. That may go as defensive indifference, as I don't think they really cared if Horsham took the third base bag up 8. Braden Alexander back on the rubber, and he delivers the 2-1. Just misses the outside corner, 3-1. Alexander playing his collegiate ball at College in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. The Presbyterian school in one of Iowa's bigger cities, and here's the 3-1. Swung on and missed by Kahn. Clay Kahn misses the fastball, and the count goes full, 3-2 with the runner on third and 1 away. Full count, payoff pitch coming from Alexander. The leg kick, and here's the fastball. It is roped down the left field line, but foul. It bounces out of play and up onto the hill where that kid in red goes over to grab it again. Wonder how many he's got. Questions that will not be answered. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kahn back in the box, and here's the right-hander coming home. 3-2. Swung on and missed. Foul tipped it into the glove, and there are 2 down. Two down here, 1 more out to go for the Bobcats to grab a big victory over the Merchants. And with 2 outs, here's the first pitch. Misses high and in. Cody Morton, who hit a home run to start what was a very positive start to this game for the Merchants, hit a solo home run to get them on the board first before surrendering 4 in the bottom half. He takes a strike that evens the count at 1 apiece. 1-1 is the count. 2 down, 10-2, the Bobcats lead. A runner is on third, but a long ways to go for the Merchants. 1-1 from Alexander. Just misses a little outside. 2-1. Just after 9:30 local time. Game time of just over 2 hours and a quarter of an hour. 2-1. Alexander. The right-handed windup and the pitch. 2-2. The strike is in there on the outside corner. 1 strike away. The Bobcats came into this game as the underdogs, but are looking for a big win over the Merchants. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The infield's ready, and so is Braden Alexander. He comes forward, and the 2-2 misses low. The count goes full to the right-handed hitting Morton, and Alexander is back on the mound. The right-hander brings the ball to his chest, and now comes forward at the 3-2. Fastball fouled back to the screen. We are still going. Cody Morton fighting his hardest to keep this game going. Since his home run, he grounded out to the shortstop before walking his last time up. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the delivery. Fastball tipped and fouled once again. Another payoff pitch incoming, as Cody Morton is fighting until the end here. He's got Horsham on third base. 3-2. Fastball in, ball 4. So Cody Morton walks, and this game continues. Bastidas, the next to hit. So Daniel Bastidas into the box for the Merchants, down 8 runs here, and taking off on the first pitch is Morton. That will go down as defensive indifference as the first pitch is swung on and missed, strike 1. Although the car horn still played in the stadium for the Jimmy John stolen base. 0-1. The pitch from Alexander. Just off the top of the zone, 1-1. A ball and a strike to count. Alexander, the kick and the pitch. Fouled off, right side, way out over the seats, over the suites, and onto the concourse. 1-2. The Corn Crib, the site of the Kernels Collegiate League and the Prospect League. Home of the Normal Corn Belters, which will next be in action on Friday. A ball and 2 strikes. Ground ball to the left side. Third baseman Moselle throws on a hop, and that's the ball game. A ground out ends it, and the Bobcats score a huge 10-2 win over their foes, the Merchants. We'd like to thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and we hope you join us again tomorrow for some more Kernels Collegiate League baseball. I'm Griffin Leonard saying so long from Normal, Illinois.